Well, so I waited for you. Okay, so it is almost 8:30. We were supposed to see each other at 8 a.m. Okay, so as you couldn't join, I'm going to start with today's lesson. And yes, so give me a second, your course, page 4, yes. Right, so we've seen okay, the present perfect continuous, the present perfect, yes, embedded questions and participial adjective we've seen. Now we're going to see the reciprocal pronouns. Okay, so I will share my screen with you. Okay. Right, so there you have it. Okay, we're going to see the reciprocal, the reflexive and reciprocal pronoun, right? So let's listen the audio.
Hi, I was just asking myself if we were going to see each other today. Today we're going to talk about the difference between reflexive and reciprocal pronouns. It's an interesting grammar point, and I think you're going to enjoy yourself. Let's take a look at them now.
Right, so when are we going to use reflexive pronoun? As you can see, it says reflexive, so let's listen.
We use reflexive pronouns when the subject and the object of a sentence refer to the same person. You should be proud of yourself, Amy. In this sentence, the subject, you, is Amy. The object, yourself, is also Amy. The subject and the object are the same person, Amy. So Amy should be proud of Amy. In other words, Amy should be proud of herself.
We're going to use reflexive pronouns when the subject and the object of a sentence refer to the same person. In this case, we have the object you, the subject you, and the object is yourself, okay, is Amy, right? So the subject and the object are the same person, Amy. So it's like saying Amy should be proud of Amy. So it sounds, it doesn't sound good. So for that reason, we have the reflexive pronouns. In other words, Amy should be proud of herself, okay? You need to love yourself, for example. So it's like if I'm saying Carla should, Carla should love Carla, you know, but instead of that, I say yourself. Let's continue with the number 2. Remember, we have 8 reflexive pronouns.
These are the reflexive pronouns: myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves.
Okay, myself. Notice that these 3 reflexive pronouns are in plural, and we have the other ones where it's in singular and third person, myself, yourself, the pronunciation, those and it, myself, yourself, himself, itself, ourselves, yes, yourselves, and themselves.
Notice that you has 2 reflexive pronouns. Use yourself when you're speaking to one person. Use yourselves when you're speaking to more than one person.
Take care of yourself, Talia.
I will.
Take care of yourselves, guys.
We will.
Okay, we know that the subject pronouns are in the first list. You, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, them. Oh, sorry, you again. We have 8 subject pronouns, right? But we have to use, right? You singular and you plural. Okay, but both are the same. So we recognize difference between these 2 subject pronouns, right? By looking for the context, okay? In this case, right, we have the first one that is yourself, that is for singular, and we have the plural that is for You, in this case, you, plural, plural, you, yourselves. Okay, so notice the context. Okay, so it's going to help us to determine which one is for what. Okay, you have to reflexively pronounce yourself when you're speaking to one person, singular, and yourself when you're speaking to more than one person, plural. Okay, let's continue with the reciprocal pronouns.
We can also use a reciprocal pronoun, each other or one another, when the subject and object of a sentence are the same people. But in this case, the people have a two-way or reciprocal relationship.
Talia and Jackie are talking to each other.
In this sentence, the subject is Talia and Jackie. The object, each other, is also Talia and Jackie. The subject and the object are the same two people, Talia and Jackie. The sentence means that Talia is talking to Jackie and that Jackie is talking to Talia. They are having a two-way conversation. Notice that the sentence, Talia and Jackie are talking to themselves, has a very different meaning. This means that Talia is talking to herself and Jackie is talking to herself. They are not having a two-way conversation.
Okay, so we're going to talk about reciprocal pronouns. In this case, we have each other, right? Each other is used when there is a reciprocal action, two-way action, reciprocal action, a relationship. It means that Talia is speaking to Jackie and Jackie is speaking to Talia. So notice that that's a reciprocal one. If I'm going to text you and I'm going to say, I will see you, at what time can we see each other? So it means that you're going to see me and I will see, okay? So that's a reciprocal one, right? It is different if I say Talia and Jackie are talking to themselves, right? So it means that Talia is talking to herself and Jackie is talking to herself. So there is no reciprocal action, okay? So it's very different, okay? So if we are sharing, okay, an action, okay, a reciprocal one, we're going to use each other. But if it's only one-to-one, for example, it means that each one are talking to, for example, in this case, herself, right? They're not having a two-way conversation. And which we're going to see what is the difference with each other and one another.
We usually use each other when the subject is two people.
Talia and Amy know each other from work.
We use each other or one another when the subject is more than two people.
Talia, Amy, and Tony know each other from work.
Or,
Talia, Amy, and Tony know one another from work.
Okay. We're going to use each other when the subject is two people. In this case, we have Talia and Amy. And we're going to use one another or each other. There is a problem. We can use both. But notice that we're not using one another when it refers to two people. Okay, so only each other and one another are used for more than more than two people. Talia and me and Tony know each other. They know one another from work. Okay, so that's the difference because the meaning is the same, but the context is different, right? Well, each other is when we have the subject, these two people, and one another when the subject is more than two people. Okay, so that will be everything. Okay, and okay, so we're going to continue with this little practice. Okay, with this we're going to finish. Read the first sentence or dialogue and choose the best choice to complete the second sentence. Okay, Jackie, this is Talia. Talia, this is Jackie. Amy introduced Talia to each other. want to choose some. Oh no. My goodness. I thought I finished the meeting. So in this case, we have what each other. Don't you work for Kicks, Jackie? Talia asked her about her job. By Jackie, it was Jackie to you. By Amy and Jackie were Jackie to each other. I'd like a table for two. It's my brother, TV shop, serving later. Jackie made a reservation for her brother and herself. Network Amy, Talia thinks should be pleased with her. Okay. Amy, I wonder what's happening between Talia and Nick. Amy asked himself. Jackie was looking at himself. And so, something. I guess I tell him one. Oh yes, it was herself. Very similar. Okay, so take care in that part, right? So with it, we're going to finish. Okay. Thank you for your attention and see you then.